Hello everybody, in this video we'll try to understand some more interesting things about Purvashadha energy. See, in the previous video I want to highlight uh, the inner core element of Purvashadha at the ending of the video. If you observe, the inner core element is Purvashadha energy has a childlike mind. If you observe, the childlike mind, see, the childlike mind has both purity and power, right? So it is a kind of child in the universe, childlike mind, because it is the power of renewed life that never grows old. See, that is why Mercury, the eternal youth, is intimately associated on the esoteric plane with this nakshatra. Mercury is very much associated with Purvashadha. Why? Because of the inner core of Purvashadha. It has the childlike mind, and when you talk about childlike mind, you talk about Mercury. See, wherever there is Venus to bring back life from the dead, there is Mercury behind it. See, the combination of Mercury, Venus, and Jupiter is the alchemist's secret, right? See, alchemy first takes place in this particular nakshatra before reaching its completion in Revati, that is the 27th nakshatra. And this Purvashadha is the initiate of occult mystery schools. Purvashadha 4 is very much occult in nature. See, Jupiter in this case being the student of Venus and Mercury, right? Because Venus is very much good here. Venus is very much good in occult sciences. Even compared to Jupiter, some people say Venus is good in occult mystery schools. And everyone has to be blessed by Venus and Purvashadha to enter this particular occult school. You know, without Purvashadha energy, in some of the ancient cultures, they believe Purvashadha energy people can do better in occult sciences because it is the initiate of that one. So they used to believe if you want to get some good occult knowledge, then you have to be blessed by Venus. You have to be blessed by Purvashadha also. They used to think that way. Because they were using Purvashadha and Venus as a kind of synonyms also. So Mercury has to function well with Venus in a horoscope for any type of real occult attainments. If your Venus is not good and also Mercury is not good, both must be good. See, compared to Jupiter, here when you're talking about occult sciences, you mainly talk about Venus and Mercury, not the Jupiter. Jupiter, of course, has some tinge, of course, has some, not tinge, of course, has some decent amount of astrological energy, but that is a different thing. But if you want to go to the deep knowledge of occult sciences, Venus and Mercury, these two are very, very important. In general terms, if you see Jupiter Venus, whenever you see Jupiter Venus combo, the conjunction, or Mercury Venus conjunction, Jupiter Mercury Venus conjunction, they carry energy similar to Purvashadha, right? Even Mercury Venus exchange, if that takes place, or Jupiter Venus exchange takes place, that also carries similar to Purvashadha energy. And besides Saturn, all planets usually do well in Purvashadha unless afflicted, or Saturn also, according to some literature, you can say Saturn can do good in Purvashadha second and third padas, right? because when you talk about second pada, Saturn goes to Virgo sign, and when you talk about third pada, Saturn goes to Libra. So in Libra, Saturn exalts. So Saturn can do well in second and third. Especially the Sun doesn't do well in Purvashadha 3 because Sun goes to Libra. Venus cannot do well in Purvashadha 2 because it goes to Virgo, right? In Virgo, Venus debilitates, it's not comfortable, and Sun debilitates in Libra, it's not comfortable. That's why Purvashadha 3 Sun is not good, Purvashadha 2 Venus is not good, right? So, if you observe the sexual animal of Purvashadha, it is a monkey. So, this makes it very playful in regards to sexual activities. So, it is most compatible with Shravana, basically the other monkey nakshatra. And all of the matter, that um, see, I will tell you one important thing here. See, Apa. Apa is also associated with Ma Lakshmi because Purvashada is also good for some materialistic achievements. See, the life giving waters is Purvashadha. See, this particular life giving waters of Purvashadha is the main thing that is associated with this energy. Keep the things burning on. Keep the things burning on. That particular life giving nature is associated with Purvashadha. See, the key to immortality, the key to immortality is this life giving nature, right? So, when you talk about alchemist, when you talk about alchemy, right? The first nakshatra that comes into our mind is Purvashadha. Is life giving, right? See, in this nakshatra, the initiate of the ancient mystery schools becomes the bride of heaven. And it is the highest expression of Venusian energy, right? So, when you are hearing about some shadowy echoes of the ancients through the walls of the ancient temples, right? So that energy is also Purvashadha because the mysterious schools, mysterious things. So let us say you're going to a temple and there you're hearing the sounds of your ancestors. See, that is the immortal behavior, right? They are still present. That is the life giving kind of energy, right? So I just want to note this particular point because somebody asked me, I heard sounds of some my ancestors when I went to a temple. It's just because the person has a lot of Purvashada energy, you know, and that's where I'm noting this point only here, right? And one more important thing is, if you see numerically, this is the 20th nakshatra, and 2 represents Venus and harmonizing of 2 elements or 2 signs. 0 is the number of completion or infinity, you can say. And Purvashada, so it is the infinity aspect of the Venusian energy. So Purvashada is the harmonizing of Mercury or Venus or Taurus or Gemini. See, the 2 signs which form the gateway to the constellation of Orion. And here 2 relates to the second sign of the zodiac Taurus and 3 represents Gemini, the third sign. So, see, this is why those who are born on the 23rd day of the month carry some of this Purvashada energy also. I am just noting this point for you, because it's a kind of mysterious energy. This 23 number has, it carries energy similar to Purvashadha. And if you observe the tarot, the 17th card of the tarot deck is known as the star. It relates mostly to Purvashada's energies only. See, the female figure in the card, if you observe it, expresses eternal youth. It expresses um, eternal beauty, right? And in that particular card, she pours the waters of life from heaven onto the earth. See, it's kind of waters of life, right? It's waters of life. The card, you can say it's the 17th card in the tarot. So basically, I want to tell you it's a life giving energy. The life giving energy is present here. The mysterious occult sciences energy is present in Purvashada 4. And if you observe the sages, sage Pulahu is associated with Purvashada only. That Pulahu means connector of space, right? So Purvashada's relationship with connectivity can be observed with this energy. Even water is a connecting element in our body, and Purvashada is relates to the same connecting force which holds space together in much the same way as it holds the water droplets together in the form of ocean. So it is called as a connector of space. It is another form of life-giving nature. So I just want to quote all this because these are all related to the life-giving nature of Purvashada. And if you're suffering from some kind of bad or malefic effects of Purvashada, then the best thing for you is worshipping of Goddess Lakshmi or Lalita Mata or Tripura Sundari, and repetition of the root mantra Om Bam. That Om Bam. So you would see, if you go to some temples where these remedies are performed, right, for Purvashada energy, you would see people chanting this Om Bam. Something like, if you are not able to chant Om Bam for 108 times, if you give some money to the priest over there, they chant this mantra, right? So chanting Om Bam is one of the remedies for them. And even the persons who have positive energy of Purvashada can also chant this, and it is very much helpful for them to wear decorative garments, jewelry, variegated pastel colors, right? So this kind of thing. And any mixture of white, light pink, light blue, these are all also good for them. And better they use the directions that we mentioned, that is the arc covering the Ishanya to Agneya, that is the northeast to southeast, that these directions are good for them to undertake any action in their life. And according to Varaha Mihira, if you observe, Purvashada is a good nakshatra, and it makes one have a loving and proud spouse. And the native is of proud, he has proud disposition, and he can be steady in friendships. So I observed generally Purvashada people have, generally on a general scale, if you find their seventh lord somewhere bad, or if it is a female horoscope, if Jupiter is bad, if it is a male horoscope and Venus is bad, then I cannot say this statement. But fundamentally, Purvashada people can get a loving and proud spouse. That's a very fundamental thing, because in the universe the things attract Purvashada, right? They are a bit loving and proud because Purvashada has that Venusian energy. Who would attract Venusian energy? Generally, the loving and proud people attract. So, generally, we say Purvashada energy people can get a kind of proud and loving spouses, right? So, there's no you know you it's something like you cannot say very very great things about Purvashada, at the same time you cannot say very bad things about it. It's a kind of decent nakshatra. The only problem is its ugra behavior, ugra nature. Very very that very very bad. That energy is very very bad. That ugra behavior, the fierce, uh, it's very fearful, right? That is when they have some kind of just do it attitude. Of course, it's famous for war declaration. Purvashada is very much famous for war declarations, and once things are fired up in Purvashada, they extend for a long time, and these are all some of the bad things. The main bad thing is their ugra behavior at times. That just do it attitude without thinking about the future consequences. They they start some actions, they initiate some actions without thinking about that, just like fire, right? So that is making it as a Vugra nakshatra. That's what our ancient seeds saw this particular nakshatra as a Ugra nakshatra. That just do it attitude. They should control. See how Adolf Hitler destroyed himself by his exaggerated ambitions, unrealistic goals, right? So they have to think if their goals are really possible or not, they are unrealistic or they are at least possible or not. See, if you observe Vishaka people, they have so unwholesome goals, but they can be able to achieve them, by implementing some of the unethical ways. Yes, the Vishaka people are going to achieve. They have that fire. They have that the universe. You can say blessing, universal blessing. They have in that way. But look at these people. Unrealistic goal, just do it attitude, right? Because of that, they fire up the things and keep the things burning on, and they don't stop. And finally, it leads to some kind of destruction for themselves, right? And that is the most negative thing. Even though they have so many other positive things, what about this negative thing? This, they have to take care of this negative thing, otherwise it's something like what happened to Adolf Hitler. So whenever I talk about Purvashadha, I talk about Hitler all the time. Hitler had some unrealistic goal, unrealistic ambition, and he thought he was always undefeated. He was invincible, but actually he lost. He declared war and everything happened. He lost and he could not take it and he committed suicide. So very very bad thing happened to him. He could not control his behavior. That ugra, the firing up, once the things are fired up, they're continuing. That is a bad thing for Purvashadha. They have to put some full stop there to control that ugra nature. See, without that, other things are good for them. The joy of living, the show off, or right, the intelligence that they have, it's decent enough to lead a good life. So thanks for watching this video, right? In our next video, we'll try to understand the next nakshatra, Uttarashadha, right? The Uttarashadha is more victorious than Purvashadha. We'll try to see that. It's a very interesting nakshatra. Thank you.